E salve raga, benvenuti all'ultimo episodio di Metal Gear Solid 3. Quindi raga, godetevi il finale. E alcuni colpi di scena.
So what are you going to do now? Go back to the KGB?
What do you want me to do?
Did you ever think about coming back to America?
I can't go back. I've left America behind me.
But you saved this country.
I didn't do it alone.
And I still owe you a dinner.
Oh, ma cosa hanno i bicchieri infiniti per bere così?
Is that part of your mission too? Or is it an order? Or is it an invitation? Or a proposal? I don't take orders from anyone now.
E questi danno dentro. L'unico botto che hanno avuto era sulla caverna. Buttarla via quella radio, no, spegnerla. Che cavolo. Ecco appunto. Che passione. C'è un po' troppa tranquillità. Che sarà mai successo?
Scholars tell us that the first spy in history was the snake in the book of Genesis. In that story, it was Eve who was tempted by the snake in the Garden of Eden. But this time around, it was I who tempted the snake and got away with the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Forgive me, snake.
E qui c'è il colpo di scena, raga.
Good morning, Snake. I hope you slept well. First of all, I have to apologize. I wasn't sent by Khrushchev. I'm not a KGB spy, and I never worked for the NSA. I'm an agent of the People's Republic of China for the General HQ 2nd Department of the People's Liberation Army. It was all a lie. I tricked you. And I'm sorry.
Ovviamente, se sei una donna in un gioco alla fine ti tradisce. Succede sempre.
The philosophers still exist in China, too. You see, my mission was to find out where Volgan was hiding the philosopher's legacy and steal it. So I infiltrated his base as a KGB spy. The two NSA codebreakers who defected in 1960 were actually both men. The real Adam never showed up at the meeting place, saving me the trouble of having to eliminate him. I sneaked in by pretending I was Eva. And you and Sokolov and Volgan, you all believed me. The philosopher's legacy was originally held in common between the US, Soviet Union, and China. We couldn't let the Russians and the Americans take it all for themselves. The Chinese government had its eye on the legacy too. I got the film containing the legacy, and also the nuclear missile launch data from the Shagohod. 5 years ago, the Soviet Union stopped supplying us with nuclear weapons technology. Since then, China's Liaodong easing, hydrogen bomb, and space rocket projects have fallen behind. But with this data, our country will be able to develop its own nukes. We'll create a deterrent force to rival those of the US and Soviet Union. Everything has gone according to plan, thanks to your help.
Veramente non è andato tutto secondo i tuoi piani?
Philosophers. I'm an agent of the philosophers, a graduate of one of their charm schools. I was raised in a joint US-Soviet-Chinese facility to become a sleeper agent. This was before the war. Back then, they were collecting children from all over the world. As a result, I'm indistinguishable from a native-born American. So it didn't surprise me when you and Volgan couldn't tell the difference. But she knew right from the beginning. She knew because before the war, she was at one of the philosopher's schools too, as an instructor. The boss was the only one I couldn't fool. She was the only one who knew I was a fake. She told me everything. Why did she open her heart to me like that? At the time, I couldn't understand it. But now, I think I do. Snake. She wanted you to know the truth. She chose me to tell you. That's why she saved my life. I've lied to you so many times, but not this time. My orders from the government were to obtain the legacy and to eliminate everyone who knew the truth about what happened. In other words, I'm supposed to kill you. But I can't do it. Not because we loved each other. And not because you saved my life. But because I made a promise to the boss. And I intend to keep it. I just wanted you to know. And you have to live.
Sì, certo, non l'ha fatto perché per una promessa, non l'ha ucciso. Ma sul fatto che non lo ama questa cosa non ci credo, che poi non è vera.
Snake, listen to me. She didn't betray the United States. No, far from it. She was a hero who died for her country. She carried out her mission knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice. Because that was her duty.
Ora, se posso, ora vi faccio vedere una cosa, se riesco. Perché come in Vampire in Metal Gear Solid 2 che si vedeva dietro la strada, dietro Snake e Raiden, qui si Si vede Ocelot. Vedo se posso farvelo vedere, se riesco.
Big boss. You are a true patriot.
Sì, un vero patriota. Certo. Allora, eccolo lì. Che brutto che sei. Questa cosa non la sapevo, l'ho scoperta dopo un po'. Che Ocelot era dietro, che si poteva vedere.
You know, we could use an infiltration unit like Fox in the army. Someone like him to handle our top secret sneaking missions for us. A man who combines the qualities of a soldier and an agent.
The boss's defection was a ruse set up by the US government. It was all a big drama staged by Washington so they could get their hands on the philosopher's legacy. And the boss was the star of the show. They planned it so that they could get the legacy that Colonel Volgin inherited and destroy the Shagohod at the same time. Only a legendary hero like the boss could have earned Volgin's trust. Finding out where the philosopher's legacy was hidden was to be her greatest mission. Everything was going according to plan. But then something happened that no one could have predicted. Colonel Volgin fired an American-made nuclear warhead at Sokolov's research facility. Khrushchev demanded that the US government provide proof that it wasn't involved. They couldn't just abort the operation to steal the legacy. So the operation itself was greatly expanded and revised. The authorities in Washington knew that in order to prove its innocence, they'd have to get rid of the boss. And that one of their own would have to do the job. The public couldn't be allowed to find out about it. Not ever. This, they concluded, would be the best way to keep the whole thing under wraps. The boss wouldn't be allowed to come back home alive. And she wouldn't be allowed to kill herself. Her life would be ended by her most beloved disciple. That was the way the government wanted it. That was the mission she was given. And she had no choice but to carry it out. Her death.
Ma quanto è triste sentire questa musica, raga, in questo momento.
Out of duty, she turned her back on her own comrades. A lesser woman would have been crushed by such a burden. The taint of disgrace will follow her to her grave. Future generations will revile her. In America as a despicable traitor with no sense of honor. And in Russia as a monster who unleashed a nuclear catastrophe. She will go down in official history as a war criminal. And no one will ever understand her. That was her final mission. And like a true soldier, she saw it through to the end. But I think she wanted you, of all people, to know the truth. She wanted to live on in your memory. Not as a soldier, but as a woman. But she was forbidden to tell you herself. And that's why she told me. Snake, history will never know what she did. No one will ever learn the truth. Her story, her debriefing, was a real hero. She was a true patriot.
Sapete una cosa che non mi spiego perché poi Snake, Solid Snake, è andato al cimitero proprio nel 4. Questa cosa non me la spiego. Dico, cos'è che si è andato a fare? Mm. Quindi, raga, questa serie è giunta alla conclusione. Però vediamo se si può vedere un attimo il filmato, cioè il discorso alla fine. Questi sono i titoli di coda, poi c'è la scritta del gioco e poi parte eh, dialogo finale. Tanto raga potete vedere la canzone, le parole della canzone che non voglio far sentire, non si sa mai. Anche visto che il copyright rompe, io del copyright me ne frego, ma vabbè. Comunque raga, vi dirò che il prossimo Metal Gear doveva essere Pace Walker, ma invece di fare Metal Gear Pace Walker farò Metal Gear, il seguito della PSP che non mi ricordo un attimo come si chiama, un attimo vado a vedere. Che poi non sapevo che c'era un seguito sulla PSP. L'ho scoperto quando l'ho comprato. Mm. Perché prima di quello avevo un altro Metal Gear che ci giocavo anche a scuola con un mio amico. Che quel gioco si facevano solo missioni e basta. Si poteva anche combattere fra noi. Allora. Mm. Poi dopo un po' ho scoperto che c'era un seguito sulla PSP. Mm, che dovrebbe essere Metal Gear Portable. Portable Ops Truce dovrebbe essere il continuo di Metal Gear dove Snake incontra per la prima volta il colonnello Campbell. E dopo aver fatto questo Metal Gear, più in là, porterò Pace Walker. E dopo aver vinto Pace Walker, o prima di Pace Walker porterò Metal Gear Acid, non lo so, devo vedere la trilogia, la cronologia esatta della storia, perché non sono sicuro, perché dopo Metal Gear 3 ci dovrebbe essere Portable, volevo dire Pace Walker e poi Portable, perché si parla del fratello di Vol'jin. E mi sembra che c'è già Miller in Portable. Vabbè raga, mi informerò e si vedrà quale prossimo Metal Gear della cronologia di Big Boss farò. Questi dialoghi io sono lunghi. Cioè questi dialoghi, questi titoli alla fine. Torno subito raga. Comunque, vorrei ringraziare per questa serie, anzi saluto, Super Cosmo Sado 9000, Big Dead 97, Rozzi Lady e basta. Ok, siamo alla fine ormai dei titoli di coda. Dai, coraggio. Uffa, perché quando sembra che siamo alla fine dei titoli di coda continuano? Io non lo so. Veramente io non lo so, raga. Comunque lasciate like, condividete. E mi auguro per voi che abbiate commentato per bene. Sapete che mm, devono fare un film su Metal Gear? L'hanno già fatto uno, ma solo una prima parte e poi non l'hanno continuato. Mm. Poi si spera che esca realmente Metal Gear il primo con Solid Snake rifatto tutto d'un pezzo sul... Ah, ecco, ci siamo.
Yes, Grozny Grad and the Granin Research Facility have both been wiped out without a trace. I understand, sir, but they were necessary sacrifices. Yes, the CIA has taken care of the boss themselves. I believe the White House will be satisfied. Khrushchev is finished. Your time has finally arrived. Yes, the American president is relying on us to keep a lid on the whole affair. We've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations. Yes, Chief Director, of course. I'll keep the KGB informed.
Comunque Super Season 5. Dicevo prima.
Yes, it's me. The boss has accomplished her mission. The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us, in America's hands. With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived. The film we handed the Chinese was a fake. Peking must be in an uproar right about now. I'm afraid so.
Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes. That's right. Grozny Grad has been obliterated by the Davy Crockett we brought in as well. Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system. Perhaps it might just come in handy someday. Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well. Yes, they bought our story. I don't think they'll be making a fuss. And the secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them. I will continue my activities as a contact for the new government. Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam. Of course, I am always at the CIA's disposal, Mr. Director.
E che colpo di scena, raga! Comunque la eredità ce l'ha sicuramente il fratello di Virgin. A me pare di ricordare questo. Ok, raga. Ci vediamo.